Well, welcome back to another Working Out with Aaron Briggs. Aaron, what do we have today?
Yeah, today is a strength workout, and it's kind of a simple one. We've got 2 basic movements plus an optional core move. And like we do almost every time, we are gonna warm up for our exercises by doing the actual exercises, just doing them a little bit lighter. So we'd like to invite you to kind of start and join up with us. So exercise 1, our first exercise is a lunge, and today Maggie and I are focusing on our side or curtsy lunges. And normally when we do our lunges, you'll see us kind of move forward or backward. Those are kind of the normal ones. Those are the ones that almost everyone's used to. And every once in a while, we'll explore with doing them a little differently. And again, those side steps or those curtsy style lunges can be a great way to add a little mobility to the hip, as well as a way to get you trained for just everyday life, right? We occasionally will move sideways when we want to be able to have you do that. Something interesting I found is that as I was doing these, as the session wore on, as it went, my hips felt much better. They were super tight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I went through it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the movements we've been doing the last couple days or what, but yeah, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good to do this today.
Yeah. Now, exercise number 2 is a deadlift. And again, this is simply your ability to bend down and then stand back up again. Like I say, it's like being able to pick something up from the ground, whether it's a kiddo or a bag of groceries or a suitcase, whatever it's going to be. This is why we practice this. So again, you'll see Maggie and I doing, some light squatting movements. Really just standing up is what we're going for here. And again, we'd say the same for you. Remember, these first few rounds, or minutes I should say, are about you warming up and really getting your body ready for the bigger movements that we're gonna do. So far so good. Again, you're just kind of loosening up and really paying attention to how you're moving and how you feel when you're doing this. Deadlifts, remember, there's gonna be a lot of different variations to what you can do. So again, just stay loose and kind of shake it out. Now, our third movement, remember, this is optional. At the end of every little cycle, you're gonna have the option to either rest or do a core move. And today, our core move is a hollow body hold. One of our favorites. The reminder with this one, as you're getting into it, is the key part to remember is that your low back is pressing down into the ground, right? The rest of your core, I promise, will engage, but keep that low back pressed down. If it's not, feel free to play around with maybe pushing your legs a little higher up to the ceiling, or bending your knees a little bit more, right? Even anything like that will work. Okay, so we've warmed up. You've got your 2 big movements. You've got your core movement or your rest period down, and the last thing that we're gonna do is just kind of take our break. Now, couple quick reminders. If we're moving too fast for you, pause the video. That's always okay. Yep. And have fun.
Yep.
Right? Do what you need to do to get ready for it. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Let's start those lunges. Now remember, I'm doing curtsies. Hey, Wally. I'm doing curtsies. Maggie's doing sides for right now. You do what works for you. And for my people that love the roadmap, they know where we're going. Each movement is going to be 60 seconds long today. We're going for a full minute with each movement. We are going to go about 5 rounds, and that means we're going to have about a 12.5 to 15-minute workout if you include the warm-up time. Now, in the background, you might be able to hear our little guy. He is playing guys. He's got the little castle going.
Downstairs. It's awesome.
If you hear the rah, 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 it's just know that something epic is going on. Yeah. Right? Not just with our workout, but downstairs. He is rocking it. We love it. Right? Good playtime.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so again, first round lunges. Again, your focus here is to make it look and feel good. Really have fun and make this as enjoyable as you can. Loosen it up. Watch your range of motion. Pay attention to how you're moving here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get right into that deadlift. Now, if you watched a video from the past couple days in our previous workouts, you'll know that when I'm doing deadlifts, and if I don't have an option for weight, my favorite version of that is what I call a kettlebell swing without a kettlebell. Yep. Right? Technically a naked swing, but that gets people going. So, but yeah, the idea there. If you've never done a kettlebell swing, if you can imagine, right, that you're holding a weight in your hands, a big heavy weight, and that you had to use momentum to get it up high, well, that's exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna rock back and forth until you can kind of swing it up. And I've always told people I imagine when I'm on a swing set with the kiddos, that kind of pumping motion that you do with your legs and your body, it's so similar to this to get it going. And when I'm doing this, what you can't see is that when I'm standing all the way up right now, everything on my entire backside is engaged. It's firm, it's tight, right? 3, 2, 1, and you're gonna take either a rest time, which I'm gonna model, or core. And again, if you're doing core, you can follow along with Mags. Great first round. Again, just 2 movements. So really you get to focus on just some lower body stuff today, kind of a lower body workout. We will match that and pair it with a workout later on this week where you'll be able to do just upper body. So again, you'll have some good options for yourself. All right, everyone get ready. You've got 5 more seconds. We're getting started with round 2 in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and begin. Now today, Maggie and I are alternating between doing our sides and curtsy lunges. But again, that's just to keep it a little fresh. Right. You do what works for you.
Yeah, and the curtsy lunges, I feel like when I first started doing them, I was always like, Aaron, am I doing these right? Am I moving my legs the right way? And he kind of has this attitude with a lot of the movements, which is like, well, does it feel good?
Yeah.
Like,
it's always
do what feels good. And so we might even look a little different when we're doing them. I know we certainly look different when we're doing our side lunges.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just don't get hung up on like, where do my feet have to go, and how are my knees supposed to bend, and where are my hips supposed to be, and all that stuff. That curtsy lunge is a little different and can feel a little awkward.
Yeah.
But it can still feel good, even if it's like, oh, I feel like I'm like kind of twisting different or whatever. But
that's a great
as long as it feels good, you're doing it right.
Yeah, that's what I would go with, especially these early phases. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch to that deadlift. And again, our intention for round 2 is to dial it up a little bit. And usually what I mean by that is your core, right? The more that you get those core muscles engaged, you learn to go tight. You get the whole body going tight, the more right your form is going to be for you. So to kind of dovetail with Maggie's point, it's exactly right. Number 1, look and feel good. Make sure it feels right for you. And then as you learn to kind of go a little hard style, you flex those muscles, I'm willing to wager that your form is going to clean up a little bit.
Sure.
And that way you don't have to worry about having a perfect deadlift or a lunge. In fact, I believe there's no such thing as a perfect deadlift or a lunge. There's just what's right and better for you. Yeah, so you're going to keep going with it. Okay, you've got about 15 more seconds. And again, your intent here is just make it a little bit better, right? Pause, go a little slower, go a little faster if you need to, but make sure that your form is getting better with each round. 4, 3, 2, 1, and again, that optional rest or core time. And one thing you'll notice is Maggie and I really haven't chatted too much about, wow, should this feel hard or does it feel like exercise? And that's kind of on purpose. It's not really the point yet. Really, the intentions with our rounds are very methodical, right? We want to make sure you're moving well first. We want to make sure that it's starting to look and feel really good. It's our next round that really builds into the exercise part of it.
Coming right up,
3, 2, 1, let's begin again. Again, you've got your lunges. We'll take any style, and remember, if lunges just aren't your thing, squats, wall sits, step ups, anything that gets your hips and knees to bend, exactly right? You can be creative with them. And now is the time that we're building in the idea of workout, the idea of intensity. By now you should be thinking, whew, I'm starting to feel this a little bit. By the end of the minute, in your mind, I want you thinking, that was challenging, right? At least medium, but really aiming for, I'm starting to feel that there. And it's a little different for everybody. Some people described it as a deep burn. Some people just say overall, that sense of, wow, I'm there. So again, just aim for that for yourself. If you're not feeling it, if this is feeling easy, the simplest way to add some intensity is to add weight. Sometimes that can be a little more challenging, right? You have to get a little creative about that, but we can do that. Like you said, backpacks filled with books, holding water jugs, anything like that will typically work for you. 2, 1, let's try those deadlifts.
Backpacks, not on your back.
Well, they could be on your back.
I guess they could be on your
absolutely.
back. The way that we've modeled it is just by holding it kind of in front of us, but I guess it could be on our back too.
As long as you feel safe with it. Really, that's the key part. If you can move well, and think of it like both Maggie and I have done a fair amount of hiking and backpacking, and you do these kind of movements when you have a backpack on. So it really would work. You could hold a little kiddo. Yeah, the kids like getting into it too. Right.
Yeah. And I was going to say too, Aaron, the neat thing is that even though today is a strength workout, you're choosing to do just body weight. And I think that's an awesome example for those of us who just don't have either a weight that we feel comfortable lifting for certain exercises or any weights at all.
Don't let a lack of tools or weight
Yeah.
keep you from doing this. The most
Right.
important part is moving. The
Yep.
most important part is being able to keep going. 3, 2, 1. Time for either rest or core.
And I know this because you've told me this, but
Yeah.
you can still build muscle without a weight.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and when we say build muscle, I always want to say, if your goal is to get huge, it's really tough to do it with body weight.
Right. Yes. That's a little different.
And again, that's not
If you're
really...
gonna do like a fitness show,
For
or,
most people
you
who
know,
are watching our videos, that's not really the goal. 4, 3,
they're probably watching different
2,
videos,
1,
and that's awesome.
and begin. Side lunges.
Our
But
videos are not for everyone.
no, and again, I'm going to bring that up for the people that are worried about, oh my gosh, I don't want to get big.
Oh.
Right. But
Yeah.
but I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
beyond the I want to look and feel good, right? And everyone pointing to the underside of their arm and their tummy and saying, making these things smaller, make this look better. The third most common kind of objection I get is, I don't want to get big. I really don't.
You don't want to get
big.
like majorly buff
No.
or look kind of crazy.
No,
big. Yeah.
and I always smile a little bit, and because it is a very it's a great thing to say out loud. I
Yeah.
totally love when my people say that.
Yeah.
And I smile because it is so hard to
Yes,
get big. You
right.
have to lift
Yes.
so heavy,
Yeah.
so deliberately, and really kind of change your diet. It's just an
Yeah.
incredible thing, you
Yeah.
know, to be able to do that. So for those of you that are
Yeah.
wondering if doing
To look kind of grossly built the way that I would imagine
3,
people are saying.
2,
is-
1, let's do that deadlift.
You have to kind of be intentional about getting that way.
Yes. Doing these workouts just won't do that. These kinds of workouts will lean you out. They'll make you look toned. You'll really have a lot of fun. But the one thing you don't have to worry about is getting ginormous by doing these workouts. Okay, now we are in the middle of round 4. And again, if you've been with us working out before, remember round 4, the intention is maintain. You really only have to think about 3 main things. And we've already covered those on our first 3 rounds. You look and feel good. You stack onto that, the kind of making it a little bit better every time. You're really proud of your form. Then you make it feel like exercise. That's the third and final thing, and you're really just maintaining that. So every rep, you make sure that you look good, that it feels good, you're proud of your form, and that it feels like exercise. If any of those things aren't true, take a moment and change it up. It's totally fine. A few more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and it's time for either your rest or your core. And again, with that hollow body hold, the same guidelines apply. It should look good, it should feel good. You're playing around with it. Low back is pressed into the mat. If any part of this doesn't feel good, change it up. 15 seconds, we've got one final round coming your way. Been a good workout. 15 minutes total, including a little warm-up. That's a heck of a start.
Yeah,
You
these
got the lion's
movements
share
felt
of it done.
so good.
3, 2, 1. Lunges one more time. And again, feel free to explore and experiment. What Maggie was saying earlier with your form and not worrying about perfection is we expect these to be a little bit messy. I know I'm still a little messy with these. And it's me being mindful about it that lets me get a little bit better each time. So again, just pay attention. If it feels a little sloppy, it's totally fine. If it's hurting, that's not fine.
Right, yeah.
Change that up. But yeah, don't worry if your knee wobbles a little bit or if it's not quite where you think it should be. Just kind of play around with it. Everyone's unique. You're going to move individually. You're going to move a little uniquely as well. So again, just kind of enjoy it and have fun. 20 seconds to go. Look good, feel good. Keep rocking it. Aim for a little bit of burn, right? Make it feel a little like exercise. 10 seconds, you're close. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round of deadlifts. I'm gonna go back to my swings.
One more round.
Yeah, you've got this down. Something interesting about going just lower body is, most of our workouts, it's a total body. It's
Right,
lower than
yeah.
upper, lower than upper. And you get a little break and you realize when you string 2 lower body workouts together that it's challenging.
Yeah.
It's this, I'm just not getting, they're different movements, but you're
Yeah.
really still working a lot of the same
Yeah.
muscles. And it can be challenging.
I feel
Kind of
like
a fun
that's
little-
kind of fun too for me sometimes when it's like just the right amount of challenge.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not one that likes to, make things like super duper challenging, but I love to feel like I'm actually working out. I
Yeah.
love to feel like I'm like, oh, okay, this is like I'm putting my 15 minutes in. I'm, planning. I planned this out. I made the space to do this, and
Yeah.
I'm being efficient here. Like
Absolutely.
this is gonna be effective.
Yeah.
So I love that feeling of like, oh yeah, this is okay. I'm breathing heavy.
2,
I'm kind of sweating a little.
1 and done. Yeah. Congratulations. If you'd like to go ahead and finish off with that little bit of core, you can. Remember, both Maggie and I kind of opt into the optional rest part, so you're going to see us go ahead and get ready for our stretch. So 1, well done on finishing the workout. That was a challenging one, right? Anytime you do 5 rounds of something, that's worth a big high five. Well done. And a quick reminder here, if you'd like to join us for our stretch, we are still focusing on things that help with our shoulders and making sure that we're quite mobile and doing what we need to do. Our main stretch for that is what's called our sleeper stretch. And if you're joining along, we start by laying on a side. Whatever arm is on that side, if you'll just rotate your palm so that it's facing up, and then go ahead and roll your body over on top of your arm. And again, just be really gentle with this. It'll look like both Maggie and I are laying flat. She's more flexible on the shoulders than I am. She's quite flat. I'm perched up on my side a little bit. And again, you just do what works for you.
Especially on that arm. I think I sleep on that arm, I think. So I'm a little more flexible with that one.
Okay. And this time, again, if you didn't see it, what we're practicing is holding for about a minute. Now, we're breaking that minute up into 2 parts. The first 30 seconds, we're just holding and really just trying to feel that stretch through the shoulder, maybe even in your back a little bit. And then the second 30 seconds, which is coming up, we're including a little bit of what we call dynamic stretching. It's where we include a little bit of movement, and that begins now. What we're doing is I'm taking the hand that's on the ground, right, the arm that's getting stretched, I'm just gently pushing the back of my hand into the floor, and then I'm relaxing it. And I kind of do that every breath, right? So when I breathe out, I push gently. When I breathe in, I relax. Push, relax. And it's a very small movement, but it can aid that stretching ability in your shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we do pretty much every time, we finish by getting into the posture that we're kind of testing, and even just getting into that posture is in itself a stretch. So again, we're gonna wrap things up by doing a few arm circles on each side. We've really probably got just 1 more minute here, so I'm gonna let Maggie wrap us up.
Yeah, I think our sweet Ellie comes into the picture here soon too. So yeah, and I just wanted to encourage you guys to give yourself a little grace too. We were talking about form and does it look good and all these things, and I have found that most often, Aaron, maybe you found this too, but we are kind of our own worst critic, right? And if someone else were to, see what we're criticizing, they would say, "What are you talking about?" And so, I just, especially just on a day-to-day basis, I think sometimes we can say, "Oh, I should have done better. I should have done that." But hey, anything you're doing to make yourself better, to make wise choices, to have fun is awesome. So I just want to encourage you guys to keep on doing that. And if it's making a phone call to a friend, or sending a note, or sending a quick text, or I don't know, reading a book, reading a sentence, writing a sentence, whatever that might be, just give yourself some grace right now and just take those little steps and be okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, gang. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so proud of you. We are so thankful for you. Make it a great day.